Buying and selling can be very emotional.
Extremely.
And so you take somebody who's buying a home and everything is fine, and then the next day everything has come unglued, the world has come to an end, something bad has happened, their father visits the house and says he doesn't like it, or they realize it's something about the home. How do you help people navigate those emotions? Because in many cases, in a state of heightened emotion, we tend to make decisions that are not what we really want long term. And so how do you help people through that?
During the transaction, then we just have to sit down and we have to have a heart to heart. Example, like we were talking earlier, if you're going through, you think it's the perfect house, we've done the inspection, we get the inspection report thinking maybe it'll be a little wood rot, maybe that'll be it. And it comes back and we find out that there's infestation
or termites or something.
Exactly. And we find out all these things. Well, then that's when we sit down, and that's where yours and my knowledge comes in, and we say, guess what? This is not a deal breaker. We already have the company that can do this. This is what it's going to cost. Mm-hmm. Let's go back and talk to the sellers. Let's find out if this is actually going to be something that they would help participate in. Mm-hmm. And as long as we're all working together as a team, then it will be something that we can finish and get through. But that's where you have to come in and you have to say, hey, this isn't a deal breaker, I promise.
Sometimes agents are making decisions for their clients. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's not appropriate to do that. An agent's job is to make sure everybody is fully educated so that they can make the decisions that are right for them. But we have clients all the time that make decisions that wouldn't be the decisions that we make, and it doesn't make any difference. We jump right on board with that decision and we help them get where they want to get.
Or how many times have you sat down with a client, and this is always what I always sit down with them first. I say, if price was no object, what is your dream house, right?
Right.
And then I say, what are your deal breakers, right? How many times have we found the house and what they originally said was a deal breaker and what was something else, and then here it comes, it was the exact house and it had maybe one or two of the original deal breakers, which are no longer deal breakers.
So, and I would say almost 100% of the time, what people buy and what they think they're going to buy are two different things. But it's because they're learning during the process. And they're like, oh my gosh, I do like that. I thought I didn't like this, but I do like that. So that's what I want. And so I think that's probably almost 100% of the time. Okay, let's jump into this. You have, and you probably have always had this, but you have got a passion for helping people who are seniors, and that definition is 55 and older. Right. It can be almost anything, but talk to us just a little bit about that. Where does your interest come from, and what are you doing to make sure that you have all of the tools and resources and systems and understand everything so you can represent seniors very, very well?
Well, first and foremost, I have always really enjoyed that class of clientele because 9 times out of 10, this is their forever home.
Yep.
And also, it's a very specific niche where this is a home buyer that knows exactly what they want. This is typically not their first home, and most times it's not their second home. It's typically their third, fourth, fifth, sixth, could have been an investor that I'm dealing with.
Yep.
So they're very specific on what they need. We also have to think about how can we get them what they need, but then make it smaller and nicer. And so for that reason, I have found that that's just something I was kind of brought into very early in my career. And now, because I've done it for so many years, it's just, I absolutely love it because they are very specific on what they need. And now we've got the 55 and older communities, and you really want to sit down and talk to them. And they're also looking for their family. Mm-hmm. And so you're bringing the family in there. And I think that's
right. Kids come, grandkids come, everybody probably comes.
Absolutely.
And sometimes they want to make their own comments even though they're not the ones paying for the house. And so you have to figure out how to deal with all of that. If you took a transaction that you would do for somebody who's 55 and older, what would you say if they owned a place and they're looking to sell it and buy a place? What would you say is the biggest thing that sort of scares them or worries them as we start the process?
Absolutely, and that is leaving their current property. That's downsizing, packing up everything, and getting rid of what they don't need, making sure that the family members get what they need, and then getting into the new place and knowing that it's their forever home, that they're going to like it there. Because
they're worried. They're worried that it's going to be too much work, and when I get there, I'm not going to love that. And so they have to think through it multiple times.